because concrete is textureless and boring. Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to be building a haunted mansion in the spirit of Halloween. I have a sketch actually. I planned for this video. I have a sketch. We're going to make like a tall like towerish bit here, and then like the normal mansion stuff here, and there's going to be like pumpkin patches and graveyards and all of those fancy things. But to start that off, we really need to terraform this area because haunted houses just work so much better on a hill. So I'm going to grab some grass, some dirt, and some stone, and I'm going to build a couple of layers up. Just something to give it a little bit of elevation and make it look that little bit spookier because it's taller than you. So I finished the terraforming. I added a little like, it's not a cliff, but like it's got a bit of stone in here so that it looks, this part bit looks like elevated, and if you stand here it'll seem really steep and tall and like it's towering over you. Over here I added a lot more space because I think I want the graveyard or the pumpkin patch to be here. I haven't decided yet because one will be here and one will be there. And then I've sort of outlined where I wanted the house to be. This is one block in from where I planned it to be, or I planned like the space for it to be, and then we can come out more where we need to. I also have a color palette. So what I'm thinking is for the walls we use a mixture of grey concrete powder, grey concrete, grey wool, and put in some deep slate bricks in there, and when we need to pop things out we can use the deep slate brick stairs. And then for like a trimming sort of thing we can use the grey, like the light medium grayscale sort of blocks to break up the two dark colors, because I've planned for nether brick on the roof, so we can drop it down with the nether brick stairs, nether brick fences and the iron bars. And then I also put down black stone. I don't think I'm going to use this, I'm going to be honest. I think this and this are like the two dark colors that I need, and I think that's it, but I'm going to leave it there just in case. And then for the windows, a mixture between light grey and grey, so it looks kind of old, I guess, I don't know. And then I'll also leave gaps in the windows to make it look like they're like broken and old. And then we got some decoration blocks. We've got the soul lanterns, we've got some candles, some jack-o'-lanterns, and a lot of cobwebs. I think what I want to start off with is the major tower, which it's not really a tower, it's just a tall section, but I like to think of it as a tower. So it's gonna come out like all here. Yeah, something like this. I was hoping for a little bit more space so I could do the crop out, but I think it's fine. I can just do something like that. Where is it? I can get one of these. Oh, this is great. I was not expecting this to work. Okay. We can get some glass panes, some dark gray glass panes, I think. Oh, this is genius. And we can put like maybe like an armor stand with a skeleton or something in there. I don't know. I think we could almost go up another 2 blocks with this. It looks really good. I was not expecting this to be the block combination that I learned today, but it's pretty great. And I think that looks pretty good. I will bring it up later, but I want to see what the height and this area looks like before I do much more to this. So I think what we need to really start with is I've planned to put like the stairs in about here. What I really want to do is the foundation, because I don't know what color I want that to be. I know whether I think I want it to be this grayscale, because then we can have the grayscale at the bottom and this be like the normal wall color, and then we have like the grayscale for like foundations and stuff, and then just a little bit on the roof for trimming. I don't know if we want it that high, because that's really high. Maybe just 1 block. Yeah, that's decent because then we can add like the stairs, and there is enough of a slope here to make the stairs like a decent size. And in the floor as well, because that seems like a good idea. Like it's like a concrete foundation, but it's very much not made out of concrete. Because concrete is textureless and boring. Okay, that looks pretty good. Next I want to add in some like 3 supports. And then here we'll probably, oh, maybe less. I don't know. I think I didn't make this a good size because if I make the archway here, I can bring it out more. I think that's a good idea. There we go. And then we can have proper archways and stuff. And we want the archway to be like, do we want the archway to be this high? I think that's a decent height for an archway. And then we can have stairs. And then here, we don't actually want these to be like this. We want them to have walls. Do we make it high? I think we need to make it all 1 block higher though. I think that works better. But I think I'm just going to do the same thing there, just make this a whole plate for the floor. Just so it gives us a solid second story place to work with. So that's a decent place. I think what we need to do now is sort of bring this around like as an actual wall inside. And then we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 inside. I think that's good. And then there's 3 blocks here. Okay, I think that looks good. And then we probably need to also make the upstairs. I think for this, I want to do the same thing. So have it 3 blocks in. But then when it reaches, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 5 blocks in, we go back 2 blocks. Maybe a bit further out, maybe 2 blocks out from that. Or even maybe like another block out so it lines up with this. I think that's good. But just give it some shape, some depth, and just make it a little bit nicer. What do I want the roof to be? That's a good question. Well, here it's gonna have iron bars, and we can put some slabs on top of that, like that. I was gonna make it like drip down on top of this, but I don't think that's gonna work. I think we can make it work here though. And by drip down, I mean do something like this with the fences and the iron bars. So make it come down something like this. Because that makes it look like it just makes it look that little bit like harsher on the eye, more of a gothic feel. I think we might need to bring the roof down 1 block. Because I'm just thinking, if we put the light grey stained glass and the normal glass here, and then we bring the roof down, and it looks, I think we need to bring the roof down. I'm gonna bring the roof down and make it probably tall. We'll see how it goes. So now we have a roof. We have some nice windows in the roof. It does look very 2D from back here, which is all right. But when you come like over here, it does come out. I think it looks pretty good. It gives, because you can see that this wall goes back, it gives the build some depth. And I also put some cobwebs inside the windows just to make it look a little bit haunted. And then at the top we have some anvils. They're not quite the color of the roof, but I think they still add to like the haunted mansion sort of feel, like gothic style of building, I guess. And then I also extended this out this way a bit because it does look a little bit heavy on this side. I think that this bit needs to be balanced out with another extension over here. I think that'll only be 1 story. And I'm also thinking of adding in a little outcrop here. But we'll get to that in a minute. So what I want to do next is take this nether brick and build up a roof here, and of course add in the trimming as well. And that looks great. So when I look at this build, I'm noticing that there's nothing here, and that's sort of a blank spot. So I want to add in a nice pop-out window here. similar to what we've got going on here. So having the deep slate brick stairs as like the outcroppy bit, and then the other grayscale blocks just to fill it in. And I'll add in a window there. And then what I would like to try and do is actually put in like a little window here. I know if it like a little roof here. I don't know if it'll look any good, but I'm gonna try it. Does that look good? I think it would look better if it wasn't like as tall. So maybe we just drop it down one block. That's not bad. I think we need to replace the top with slabbing though. Yeah, that looks great. It just sort of made this less blocky, added in some contrast, and added some depth to the build. What I'm now going to do is just add in a one-story little extension on this side of the build because it's really lacking the balance. It's all happening over here and there's nothing over here, so I think just like a one-story thing will do wonders. So we now have this. I think this looks great. I also added in some details inside. I added like a floor so you can actually walk up to the window and see it. I added in some skeletons and wither skeletons and just some soul lanterns. Just make it look like it does have an inside. I've also added some windows over here. And overall, I think it's looking pretty good. I'm very proud of it. Now we just need to work on the details. So I like to add in a staircase here. I don't think I want it to be a super steep staircase. Unless I do. No, I think it will work better if it's not. I think it would just look a little bit better if it's like this. No, I think it needs to be steep because then you get that feeling that like you're coming up to something big. There are two last things to add now that we have a staircase. I want to add a graveyard here, I think, and then a pumpkin patch or like a big pumpkin patch over here. That's it. So graveyard. What I think we can do for this is get a bunch of like stone stuff, like stone brick wall, like mostly stone bricks, and then like maybe a bit of cobblestone and stuff. And then we obviously need we need some coarse dirt and some gravel. I don't think it needs to be super orderly. It is like mostly orderly, but like a little bit of chaos in there is fine. And something like that I think is good. And then we can add in some of this. And then we can add in some of these. So yeah, something like that. And then I would like to put some cobwebs around that, just so it looks very like old and abandoned. But yeah, something like that. And then maybe a few more cobwebs over here. Perfect. And then we need to add in a nice little pumpkin patch. So if we just put a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns around like this, and then we can put normal pumpkins around like this, in sort of like sporadic patches, I'm thinking. And then we can put some carved pumpkins that are not lit up. So like around. Something like that, I think. And then a lot of coarse dirt in the mix is going to look good because then it looks like, I don't know, like somewhere where actual plants grew. Something like that. I think that looks pretty good. I do have the last thing I would like to do is grab a shovel and put in some, like a really old looking pathway. Just like a little bit of guidance. Something like that. Because then you can tell that there was a pathway, but now that it's grown over and stuff. And maybe a couple blocks of coarse dirt in here also might help that. And you know what might be good? Like a little pile of coarse dirt over here, like someone's been digging up the graves. Just for the vibes. Purely for the vibes. Something like that. You're not really going to see it that much, but just to add to the effect, I guess. And when you look at this, and you've got like a small sunset in the background, maybe a bit more. And you've got a little bit of a sunset, it's just dusk, and you're coming up to do trick-or-treating. It's pretty scary, I'd like to say. I would like to add a few more of these lanterns, actually. Because we could add like lots of heads here and stuff. Ooh, this is a good idea. Yeah, we could add heads here. Ooh, scary. Okay. But yeah, this is the final build. We've got our pumpkin patch, our graveyard, and our haunted mansion. I feel like it needed to look a bit more rundown, but I am not adding any more details. Now that I've done and like changed it like 3 times since I sat down to do this, I think we're done. I think that it looks pretty cool. I'm very glad I built like up the terraforming on the bottom to make it look just that little bit better. I could have gone for a whole hill, but I will not build a whole hill. I just won't. So yeah, I'm very proud of this. If you enjoyed this video, if you like this build, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you very soon for another video.